you aware of the complex issue of legalizing abortion in Malaysia? Well, today we are diving into the interesting topic that affects countless lives of women in our country.
Right. So the law of abortion was established under British Empire's Indian 1871 Penal Code, which criminalizes abortion in all sorts of manners. However, there are certain exceptions which was made, or certain amendments, so to say, which actually allows some sort of abortion in Malaysia. So the first amendment was made in 1971, where abortion was legalized in the circumstance where it would save the woman's life, and another one in 1989, where abortion is also allowed in that circumstance to save the woman's mental health as well as physical health. Right. So the current legislation in regards to abortion in Malaysia refers to the Section 312 of the Penal Code, which states that a person or whoever actually causes the woman with child to miscarry shall be imprisoned or shall be imprisoned up to a term of 3 years, or with fine, or with both. And if the woman itself is actually in the stage where they are quick with child, which means that if the mother can actually feel the movement of the fetus already, shall actually be imprisoned up to a term of 7 years and can also be liable to a fine. Alright, so the exception to this penal code refers to medical practitioners under the Medical Act 1971 Act 50 who terminates the pregnancy due to their own opinion formed under good faith that the continuance of this pregnancy would be a risk to the health of the mother, or if they were to think that the mental and physical well-being of the mother would be in greater risk as compared to if the pregnancy was to be continued.
Our team has decided to use face-to-face interviews as primary means of data collection and analysis for this research project. We have interviewed 3 people in total. In order to address the question of whether or not abortion should be legalized in Malaysia, we should figure out what general people thoughts of it.
It's when the woman no longer wants or is not planning on keeping the baby and it is forcefully removed from her.
As far as I know, it's about there's certain time periods where it's safe to have an abortion, then it's not safe to have an abortion, and they'll be like recommended by doctors and all. And the process of it, I'm not too familiar, but it's different according to different stages of the pregnancy.
I know that abortion is something that women are able to do when they feel like they can't financially afford, or they can't be stable enough to have a child.
So when done legally and properly, I believe it should be a safe procedure just like any other surgery. But of course there will be risks to everything.
If it's medically done, I think it's quite safer.
Primarily it is safe depending on how you do it, but I think mostly abortion has like effects that are quite dangerous.
I believe, to my knowledge, it is legal here in Malaysia.
As far as I'm aware, it's legal.
I think it is illegal, but I think some women find ways to do it.
Yes, I believe without any restrictions whatsoever, things may become out of control. I do believe it should be legalized, but there has to be some restrictions to this, or else this system may be abused. Teenage girls may be forced to do abortion after abortion. I believe in general, as I am a Muslim, and we are not allowed to engage in sexual activity before marriage. And I believe more often than not, abortion cases are for people who, engage in sexual activity without any sort of protection or plan B. And because of this, some may believe that legalizing abortion completely will encourage young children to, engage in sexual activity pre-marriage.
It's not really about religion per se, but in general, the more traditional, the older generations have a more negative thoughts towards abortion.
Okay, so as a Muslim, I think we have a stance on abortion that it's not religiously right unless it's for some other purposes, for some other reasons. So I think like growing up, I've always been taught that, you can't, like abortion is not a good thing, I guess.
Yes, I think it is their body, and as they say, their choice to keep the baby or to, abort the baby, as I think no one should have any right to tell them what they should do with their body itself.
I think at the end of the day, women should still have the right to choose. But of course, with the doctor's medical advices and all, whether it's possible or not. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's still her choice.
Yes. I don't, if it's the woman that is having the baby and it's her body, then I think that no one else should have a say in it except her, because it is her that is going to get it anyway.
Yeah, I think the risk of not giving them this information, like let's say someone got pregnant, and then they say, oh, she get an abortion, oh, what's that? And then they go to some place that isn't reputable, that isn't proper, or they get tricked or scammed, and that could lead to dangers because they will usually not turn to their parents or anyone about this. So I think arming them with knowledge on what abortion is and how they should do it. And I think most important is telling them about the side effects, because abortion isn't just an easy process and you're free from the baby. It will have severe problems to your hormones and overall your body in general, and I believe it could affect you having a child again in the future. So I think it's definitely good to inform women of age, once they get to the age, perhaps in secondary school or late secondary school, when they usually engage in these activities. And I think maybe to parents in general, like they should know and they should be more accepting on trying to give abortion to their kids just to secure their future for themselves.
To a certain extent, yes. I think this should also goes down to education. Education, NGOs, not just the government, because I feel like the government sometimes they have their limitations because they have to take care, not just like I said earlier, we have different opinions based on different geography areas, right? So the government, they definitely have limitations because they have to conform everybody together. But then who can actually raise all this awareness are actually NGOs. They have more power in like spreading all these educational messages.
By the government, no, but by the people, yes, because I feel like by the public, then it's just public opinion. But if it was the government, no, I feel, because if it's the government, they are going to get backlash from different areas of the public.
The findings from the 3 interviews provide a diverse range of perspective on abortion in Malaysia. There are 3 common themes. The first one is legality. All 3 participants believe that abortion is legal in Malaysia, though there is a sense that it is not openly discussed due to cultural taboos. The second is safety. The general consensus is that abortion can be a safety procedure when performed by authorized medical experts in proper facilities. The third one is women's rights. All 3 express a belief in a woman's right to choose, emphasizing that the decision should ultimately be hers.
Abortion is technically allowed in Malaysia. However, there is ambiguity and confusion in its laws due to various interpretations of the word abortion. So having a clarity or having a definite term for abortion would definitely help in the well-being of women. Therefore, I believe that there should be a legal reformation in the Act so that it is much more clearer for people. Unfortunately, there are unwanted and avoidable deaths as well as injuries that do happen due to illegal abortion acts. Start reality in countries where it is much more open and safe to talk about abortion compared to the more conservative countries, I would say so. Women and girls who find themselves in unwanted pregnancies often find themselves unable to reach out and unable to have the more safer alternatives or more safer abortion acts due to the legal barriers that separate them. Therefore, much clarity in the law can provide a safe and legal avenue for women and have them much more easier access, I would say, to have a safer abortion and create a more open community to have talks about such things. Advocates in the country do emphasize on the needs of robust sex education, open-mindedness towards talking about safe sex, as well as the need for a reduction in the societal implications of abortion. By having or improving upon these matters, I believe that we are able to improve the current situation in Malaysia, where women would have a better reproductive health as well as better women's rights towards their own body.
A 2007 Reproductive Rights Advocacy Alliance Malaysia, or known as RRAAM survey, found that 41% of doctors and nurses did not know on what grounds abortion is legal or not. Many still fear the stigma of being abortion providers. Thus, many private clinics have provided abortion services on the down low. Malaysia's poor sex education and stigma around safe-sex discussion and cold treatment towards women with unwanted pregnancies has led to many women who are unable to care for their child, often young women, to opt for illegal and unsafe abortions.
Human rights are at stake when it comes to access to the safe and legal abortions. According to recognized interpretations of international human rights law, denying women, girls, and others to the right of abortion is discrimination and violates several human rights. Abortion debates center on women's reproductive rights, which includes body, health, and life autonomy. The abortion debate has heated up since Roe vs. Wade, with states passing various abortion laws. The ongoing debate highlights women's reproductive rights and society's concern with abortion, especially in later pregnancy.
In the end, the act of legalizing abortion in Malaysia is not just for the sake of the law. It's a call for a more compassionate Malaysia, one that is much more forgiving and one that is much more accepting in the circumstances that might lead to women needing the act of abortion. It is an approach to a better reproductive healthcare in Malaysia, one that would prioritize women's rights as well as their health.